So Friday night, I knew that Drake was gonna drop his diss track response to Kendrick Lamar, and I made a video previously how much I really liked Euphoria. I think it's one of the best diss tracks of all time. And in fact, even Jack Dorsey, the guy who created Twitter, he had liked a post saying that Euphoria is one of the top 10 diss tracks of all time. And then after that, on Wednesday, Kendrick dropped another diss track, 616 LA, which wasn't as good as Euphoria, but the Al Green sample was fantastic. I love that Al Green sample. So I knew Drake was going to drop his response. But I was watching the Cavs play Orlando where the Cavs lost. And I said, well, I'll check it out later. And then it was like late night. I checked X and I saw Drizzy's name. Drizzy was trending and also Ozempic. I was like, Ozempic? What's going on with Ozempic? Because I figured it was like some recall. And no, evidently Kendrick Lamar, after Drake dropped his response, Family Matters, Kendrick Lamar dropped Meet the Grams. And there's a whole storyline with that because somehow Drake's father lost his suitcase and it had some of Drake's stuff in it. And one of it is Drake's prescription for Ozempic and a bunch of other stuff. DJ Academics was talking about all that stuff that was going on. And I was like, man, Kendrick dropped another one? Let me tell you something about Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams is ether level. Everything I said about Euphoria, which was great, Meet the Grams is even better. He said, the beginning of the song, he starts off talking to Drake's son, and he says, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father." And it's not so much that Kendrick was angry. It's almost like he was doing an intervention on Drake's family. It's almost like he was just line by line. And he was talking about Drake might have some type of addiction issues. He was saying how Drake has a daughter out there and maybe other kids out there. Like, it's an amazing surgical dissection of not only a man's persona, but who he is as a person. Like, when I made my other video, there was a guy who said, Hit 'Em Up is still one of the best diss songs ever. And it is to a lot of people. I was just never a fan of Hit 'Em Up because I think Pac was just too damn angry on that one. It's like, bruh, like I love the fact you and Biggie are going at it, but it's like, this is a bit far. And I'm a Pac fan. So with Meet the Grams, Kendrick could have gone like really, really angry, but it's almost like he's counseling to Drake's son. He's talking to like Drake's father. He's talking to Drake himself. It's like, and I think the biggest thing is he doesn't like Drake lying about who he is. He doesn't like Drake acting tough. Because here's the thing, I like Drake. I've always liked Drake. Like Drake, you can't last as long as Drake. Like Drake started when LeBron was wearing a headband with the Cavs. He was youngish LeBron. Drake's been around for a long time. And you can't last this long without having some talent. Like Drake has that thing that Jay-Z had at his peak. Like LL had it. Even from a pop music standpoint, Justin Bieber has it, where they just know how to pick the right tracks. Drake has that skill of just finding the right tracks. And again, he's an elder statesman now in hip hop, but he still sounds fresh and young. Drake is probably one of the most iconic rappers ever. But Kendrick Lamar is an iconic MC. And there's a difference. Back in the 2000s, you had both, right? Jay-Z, Eminem, DMX, Fabulous. Like you had guys, 50, Ye. You just had guys, Lauryn Hill, Missy, people who were just really good who was really not only good success-wise, but if there was any type of rap battle, they could hold their own. The problem with this era is that you don't have battle-tested rappers. Like even Will Smith, like back in the day, like people always talk about how Will and Jeff were pop, but at the same time, like Will early back then, you had to go through rap battles. Like all that stuff that you saw at 8 Mile with Eminem, like he just didn't become Eminem overnight. Like he had to take his lumps as learning to be an MC. And Drake can rap, But Drake, I don't know how Drake is in a battle. Kendrick Lamar is a battle-tested MC. I would never want to, if I'm in this era, I would never want to challenge Kendrick Lamar because you're going to lose. If Drake had made Family Matters and he was going up against Gunna, and no offense to Gunna, but if he was going up against Gunna, I can't see Gunna coming back from that because these guys are not battle-tested MCs. But when you come after a dude like Kendrick, even on your best day, and I think Drake's done really well, you can't, because if you're Drake and you do have ghostwriters, you guys got to huddle up and think. Kendrick doesn't need ghostwriters. Kendrick, he's made three diss songs about Drake in a week, or really probably in 10 days. Like, he's made 3 songs. That probably has more. He's basically creating an EP of diss tracks. That's old school thinking right there. Now, where this goes, I don't know. Like, the only person I can think of who's in recent years who's really battle tested, that if they had to do a freestyle, would probably be Nicki. Because Nicki, people forget, before the whole Barbie thing, Nicki was a battle tested female MC. That's why I think a lot of female rappers really don't go at her too hard, because they know Nicki can tear them up. And even now, like, Nicki's a mom. She's like 40 years old. Like, she's kind of like, I can tear you up if I want to. I don't have the time. So what do you think now? So this thing up here, I forgot. Rick Ross says Kendrick Lamar busted Drake right in the head before publishing was even done. Find K-Dot's diss track, Meet the Grams, and here's Ross laughing. This whole thing is so great for hip hop. As long as no one gets hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Kendrick Lamar is the equivalent of when Mike Wallace was on 60 Minutes, or when Geraldo Rivera was like a real journalist. If those guys are knocking on your door, you do not want to talk to these guys because they're really good at what they do. Kendrick Lamar would have been an excellent investigative journalist. Kendrick Lamar would have been an excellent lawyer. Kendrick Lamar would have been an excellent surgeon. It's not so much just detail oriented. He doesn't rush. He takes his time. And I said this in my last video. I think from rap moving forward, okay, getting past the diss part of it, look at how this dude is using his words and using his language. Think how long, it didn't even take him that long to make 3 songs in 10 days, but just the way he did it, the different types of storytelling. The storytelling on each of these 3 diss tracks against Drake has all been different. That, sir, is an artist. Drake's an artist too. But Kendrick Lamar is an MC.